You wake up in a hot bubble bath. You are relaxed and feel the suds from the bath run down your leg as you lift it out of the bath water for a brief second to stretch. You smile as you realize that you are on vacation and that the love of your life is in the living room of the cabin you both rented for the weekend. You finally get out of the tub and wrap yourself in a bath towel. You look in the mirror and stare at your smiley reflection. Your curly blonde hair that is shoulder length is wet and tangled, and you twist it with 2 fingers as you hum out a tune. You look into the mirror and see your hazel eyes. Your eyes then stare at the reflection of the living room through the cracked bedroom door. A tall, faceless man stands in the center of the living room, facing you. You blink your eyes fast, and then you realize that this person is extremely tall and very pale with long fingers and sharp nails. His clothing looks dark and dingy and worn from a different time, from the time you spotted him and the time you realize maybe this is a nightmare and maybe you're just asleep. You remember your boyfriend Scott. Why isn't Scott here to protect you? How did this person, this thing just appear in the cabin? Is Scott dead? No, you shouldn't think like that. You tell yourself. You turn around slowly, holding the silk bath towel tightly to your body. The person is now in your full view through the crack of the door. A scream inside your body rings out, but you hold it in, hoping that this man doesn't attack you for it. His head jerks to the side in a way unseen before. It moves so fast that it had to be impossible for a human to do that. You slam the door shut in fear for your life. You then lock it. Your heart speeds up. You hold the door closed with your back to it, screaming. You then cover your mouth, sobbing quietly as you can. You then run over to your suitcase and throw out your clothing, a pair of running shoes that you used when you and Scott went for morning runs in the quiet suburban neighborhood, which you wish you were back in. You grab your panties, some socks and jeans. Then you pull out a flannel shirt. In a hurry, you put on your clothes. Then rush to the window near the bed. To your horror, the faceless man is standing there, knelt down, with his pale hands placed on the glass. The long fingers send chills throughout your body. You back away, tripping over your bath towel. You run out the bedroom, then look for your keys. You groan in anger when you realize Scott had the keys last. You start to call out for your love when you spot your cell phone on the floor near the dining table. You pick it up, then dial 911. You listen in panic, hoping to hear the operator's voice. But then static fills your ear. Then a voice that you have never heard before enters your ears. Jill Gray, you will be missed. You drop the phone and back up to a wall, holding yourself, trying to figure out what the hell is happening. Where's Scott? Why is some tall freak scaring me? You search through the cabin for a weapon. You find a hammer and a flashlight in a small closet in the corner between the hall and the kitchen, leading to the bedroom. You turn the flashlight on, then pick up the hammer. You know you have to get away from this place. You feel it in your bones. You know that you're not safe here. You're trembling so bad that you almost drop the flashlight. You slowly make your way to the front door. You then touch the doorknob. Then out of the blue, there is a knock on the door. You jump back in fear. You try to tell yourself not to be afraid and to fight whatever it was threatening you. Knocking is heard once more, this time followed behind a familiar voice. Hey babe, left my keys inside. Could you open up? You start to calm down, seeing that maybe this whole time your mind was playing tricks on you. Scott is okay, nothing bad is going to happen. The tears that was filled with fear turn into tears of joy. You unlock the door Then to your surprise, you are face to face with the same tall man who had been standing inside earlier. He kneels down, then grabs you by the neck. Everything you thought could be fake about this moment was not. It was really happening. You can feel his icy cold hand wrap around your whole neck with one grip. You can see his full face that was blank, with no expression. His bald head shined in the night as the moon poured light into the darkness of the forest. You can feel your body getting weak and your legs going numb. The scary thing about this was, this creature didn't speak. It just stared at you with no emotion. It didn't even strangle you. Your neck wasn't even squeezed. All it did was hold you there. Your mind starts to drift. You start to feel very tired and useless. You don't feel like fighting anymore. You just want it all to end. Then, an image passes through your thoughts. You remember when you were 13 and you was at a park with your little sister. You remember something that hadn't appeared to you since childhood. You remember seeing a faceless man standing behind a group of trees watching you and your sister, Anna. You remember how whispery voices crept into you and Anna's minds. The feeling of being controlled. But it wasn't by force. It was gentle and warm, like it made you want it. You remember walking from the park to the stranger, then your dad calling you and your sister's names. Your sister's face fades as she reaches for you to take her hand, but then it all goes black. You snap out of it. In front of you is the thing that took her, and now it's back for you. All the old memories flood in, overwhelming you. You start to kick, and as your eyes open, you see the horrible sight of an open mouth. The jaw unhinged and teeth sharp and jagged. The face that was once empty with nothing to see was now stretched wide with saliva dripping from it. You remember the hammer you had picked up. You reach into your side pocket, then fling it out, almost ripping the pocket. You then swing it hard as you can at the monster's arm. Just as it moved its mouth in for a bite, it drops you. Then its wicked grin is seen. The teeth spread just about from ear to ear. Then, in a swift reaction, the grin vanished. The mouth had no lips and no line to tell if it was there the whole time. Its face was now empty again. It then faced its right arm, which was now bleeding. Cracked skin with dark blood, almost as dark as tar, but it was a maroon color of blood. The wound slowly started to heal on its own. You grab your flashlight, then run past him. You run down the steps of the cabin and realize that the car is missing. You think to yourself, did Scott leave you behind? Did he see this thing and got scared and left you for dead? No time to think about it. You run with all you have. You tell yourself not to look back. You can't stop. You make yourself keep going. You push yourself with all you have. You travel so far out that you forgot which path is the way to the ranger station or which one leads to somewhere where you could get help. You are now lost. The sound of the forest is heard. The dark night of the sky covers the area like a blanket thrown down over it. You are now alone in the middle of nowhere. You are cold and afraid of every sound that comes near you. Leaves scatter by as wind blows them. You flinch in fear. You turn on your flashlight and make your way through the tall trees that surround you. The light from the flashlight spreads through the darkness, cutting through shadows and darkness like a knife. Your palms are sweating as you hold the hammer and flashlight. Your nerves are on edge. You can't believe this is actually happening to you. You start to cry as you keep telling yourself over and over again that this isn't real. A twig breaks from behind you as you realize you're no longer alone. You are too afraid to turn to look. You want to, but for some reason you don't. A familiar smell comes to you. The smell of cologne. Scott's cologne. You feel his presence near. You start to cry as you try to pry yourself to turn and look. You wait for his voice. Then the sound of footsteps are heard. You clench the flashlight tightly. You ready the hammer for a strike. But then a hand rests on your shoulder, almost making you scream. You shake non-stop as you say his name, hoping to get a response.
Scott, is that you?
Yes, Jill. It's me. Why are you out here? You begin to cry as you turn to hug your love. You are now frozen in fear. You see nothing there, just you in the dark. You now see something hidden in the trees in front of you. A car. Scott's car. It's tangled up in weeds and tree branches. Vines wrapped around it, inside it, all over it. You move closer, then see a person sitting in the driver's seat facing you. You realize this person is not moving. They are just sitting there. You are too afraid to point the light from your flashlight towards the figure in the dark. Your thoughts telling you what you already know, making you feel that you need to see it to believe it. You finally shine the light on the car. Scott sits there staring at you with his mouth wide open in horror. His eyes wide open also, his skin pale and the expression of fear frozen in his dead face. You scream in horror. You back away crying and begging to be left alone. Then you back into something. A large hand gently touches your shoulder. The white of the hand glows in the dark. Long bony fingers tighten on you as you begin to scream. Your scream never comes. Darkness is all you see now. You hear your heart beating. And then it's quiet. You hear only yourself breathing heavily. You can't feel your body, but you know something bad is happening. Then a disturbing sound comes in, a horrible sound. Then as you finally figure it out, you